Good morning, everyone. It is super early in the morning. It's 6 a.m. So I don't know if anybody will be on this call this morning or on this Facebook Live, but I still thought that I would do it. So even though it's 6 in the morning, invoking a little bit of Snoop Dogg this morning, but instead of partying till 6 in the morning, we are making red beans and rice at 6 in the morning. So good morning, everyone. Thanks for coming. I actually see that I have three people viewing. How exciting is this? I thought nobody would be here because it is so early. But I was actually, so I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram, but I have been loving Insta stories. It's similar to Snapchat, and I thought about getting on Snapchat, but seriously, like, it is just, I couldn't figure out how to do it, and that sounds like such an old lady thing for me to say, but it's true. So when Insta stories came out, I love doing that because one of my big issues with social media is that I feel like it portrays such a perfect view of people's lives, and my life is not perfect. My life is messy. If I actually panned around my whole kitchen, it is super messy because I didn't get a chance really to clean up last night as well as I typically like to, for two reasons. One of them is, as I was filling up my olive oil dispenser, I actually knocked it over and it broke all over the floor. So olive oil all over the place is hard to clean up. And two, Halt and Catch Fire started last night. So I had to, of course, watch that. And anyway, so let me get on to what I decided to make for you guys. So anyway, the reason why I was telling you all about Instagram and Insta stories is that I was actually putting these red beans onto soak last night because I was planning on making red beans and rice for dinner tonight. And then I started thinking, why don't I just, instead of doing it by myself, why don't I do it on Facebook Live so you guys can see how easy it really is to make home-cooked, really delicious, really healthy meals. I would actually normally put this together the night before and just add the water like right before I cook it. But I thought I would just get up and do it for you guys this morning, so you would see that you could easily put a crock pot meal on in the morning and just put it on and let it cook, and it's done. So I see we have a few more viewers. I would love to hear where you guys are viewing from. Are you viewing here in the States where it is super early, or are you over in Europe or Asia where it is a little bit later? Either way, I'm super stoked that you guys are here first thing in the morning hearing my scratchy voice. So thumbs up, yay, thank you. So let me know in the chat if you like where you are coming from, and also if you have any questions about this dish, how I'm cooking, different things like that. So, and also let me know if you can't hear me, because I don't have a mic, and I've actually gotten feedback that I need a mic for these longer distance things, which I just need to order. But sometimes I procrastinate and don't. But anyway, okay, so last night I soaked these beans, and so basically I just put 2 of these pounds of of beans. I like using these dried beans instead of the canned beans just because they're super fresh and they're also so inexpensive. You can buy, like, I want to say this was like $1.19, and this is actually like 3 servings or 4 servings. Let's see what the back says. This actually says it's 12 servings, but I want to say it's like 3 cans worth of beans. This is actually 2 of these because I always make extra of things because might as well. And then you can freeze it and it's super easy to have, or you can just keep having red beans and rice for a couple weeks, or even share with a neighbor or things like that. This is a great meal to send to people who, to send to new moms who have just had babies, because you can make a ton for both you and your family, and then also for them. Definitely check with them to see how spicy they like things, because everybody's different. So first thing, I did soak these beans like I said last night. These are just red kidney beans. So soak them overnight if you can. Drain off the water. It really helps decrease gas. So I go ahead and put that in my crock pot. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? Sorry, totally changing things up. I'm gonna do half like this, and then I'm gonna put half in a regular crock pot, because I'm actually going to be making another bean dish later in the week, and I wanna use half of these. So I'm using about, that's about half. Just eyeball it. Cooking is not exact science. That is why I love it. I'm not a baker because I just have a really hard time following recipes. Anyway, so I'm actually going to be only using half of my beans. So 1 bag of these, so 1 pound of these, because I want to save this for a different bean dish that I'm going to be using later in the week, that I don't want all of the spices and stuff. So I'm gonna just put this over here. Okay, I love cooking in a crock pot because it's super, super, super duper easy. And I actually just heard some pounding on the stairs, so my kids may be coming down. So extra excitement for the morning. So in your crock pot, a lot of red beans and rice recipes actually ask you to cook all of the vegetables. You can do that. It does enhance the flavors just a little bit, but I like things easy. And so I'm just gonna toss them all in fresh. So beans in first, then I'm going to take some chopped up celery. I buy a couple things of celery, and I will just go ahead and chop them up and keep them in my freezer in a bag, and that way I just like have to pull what I need out. So this is about 1 cup, which is about 2 stalks. Hi lady, good morning. 2 stalks of that. This is, I also do the same thing with onions. I cut like 1 big onion at a time, and like use what I need. It actually makes it so easy to just kind of put stuff together at night, and then like you're not spending super amount of time chopping everything up. Next, I'm going to do a red pepper. You can do green pepper, whatever works. I'm doing red pepper because I like red pepper. So let me, my daughter is up. Quinn, I'm live on Facebook right now. Can you actually move that somewhere else? Thanks. Okay. So to cut a pepper, you just kind of cut down until you can see the seeds, and then just take it and pull it out. I used to do it a different way, and it was not as easy. That is now my favorite way to do it. Okay, do you want to help me, Quinn? Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, so then you just slice it. And my knife is really dull. My dad is actually my chief knife sharpener, and he would be appalled if he knew how dull my knives were. Don't tell him. He's not on Facebook, really, so he will never know. Unless Quinn tells him. Are you going to tell Grandpa? No. Okay. Okay, so you just cut them in slices, and then just dice them. Just kind of holding them like so. Okay, and now we're just going to take this in. Quinn, will you put that in there for me? Just pick these up and toss them in the thing. Next, we are going to add the garlic. I don't know if you guys have seen like my garlic thing on how I do lots of garlic. This is a quick rendition. So we have Katarine says, "Hello, Quinn. Good morning." Say hello. Hello. Okay. So you just take garlic in the peel, toss it in here, and then you put it in a jar with a hard top and just shake it. Full disclosure, I've actually shaken these a little bit because I didn't want to take too long doing that, and then the peel just comes right off. See? It just peels right off, and it makes your life so easy. 1, 2.
Can we do this one?
Sure.
There we go.
3, 4, 5. So about 5 good size garlic pieces. And actually I'm going to grab one of these plastic ones because I don't like the way garlic and onion stay on wood cutting boards for a really long time. So you just lump up your garlic together and just give it a quick chop the first time. Quinny, do you mind standing over here so they can see the, thanks lady. Okay, so you give it a rough chop and then you just kind of keep going over it. One time I saw my husband cutting garlic and he was being so meticulous about slicing it, and I was like, just get her done. Just kind of work it. Work it. 6 in the morning. Sorry, I can stop that. Once you get Snoop Dogg in your head, does anybody else relate to this? Once you get Snoop Dogg in your head, you just can't, there's no going back.
It's delicious.
She just said, looks delicious except for the peppers. But all of these vegetables cook down a lot. So, okay, so once it's all chopped, you just toss it in there. And now we're gonna go with the spices. So I made a little spice mix. This is white pepper, paprika, and white pepper, paprika, and cayenne pepper. My kids don't like it super, super spicy, so I only added a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Christina, hi Christina, welcome. I'm so excited that I have viewers this morning. I totally thought everybody would not show up, but I'm pretty stoked. So just toss that in, and then Himalayan sea salt. So I've started using this instead of regular sea salt because it has so much more, it has a much higher mineral content like magnesium, zinc, and you guys know how much I love magnesium. So I add that to it. And so I'm just gonna do a couple pinches, not too much, but yeah. But also don't be too liberal. This is a huge pot of beans, and so sorry, too stingy on your salt, because the salt really helps keep it delicious and adds lots of flavor. So next I'm going to actually do some fresh herbs, and I went and I grabbed some fresh oregano and fresh parsley from my garden. Thanks, babe. And if there is one herb that you grow, I would recommend growing oregano. Oregano actually has so many antioxidants. It's antifungal. It has been shown in studies to help decrease cancer cell growth that's already there, and then also like decrease incidence of recurrence. And also it is so super hardy. I planted this, I want to say 3 or 4 years ago, like when we just moved in, and it grows like crazy. It gets frozen and it comes right back. So I kind of went a little crazy, but I love, so you just take the stalk and just pull it off like that. So you hold it at the tip and pull it down and just kind of go like that. Fresh herbs, yeah. Fresh herbs are really, really, really great for you. They are so packed with antioxidants and things like that. So if at all possible, I know not everybody has a backyard, but if you could do fresh herbs, it's so great. Here, baby, just grab one of them by the top and just pull down the thing. See? I'm gonna try that one. A little factoid about red beans and rice. This is actually a dish. It's a southern dish. Good job, hon. It's a southern dish that is traditionally made on Mondays to use up the beans and the ham that they had for Sunday dinner, because it could cook all day long while they were doing their wash days. I guess Mondays were wash days in the old times. So I love understanding food history, well history in general, but I also like understanding food history and what people used to do, things like that. It's fun for me. Okay, so we have our oregano. This isn't as much as I thought. I'm gonna actually cut this on my regular board, because so what you do with fresh herbs, I'm actually going to just cut both the parsley and oregano together, just to kind of make life easy. And with the parsley, it's actually easier. You just cut off the leafy part. Thanks. And like I said, I know it's early morning, and so some people don't have the opportunity to do this first thing in the morning. No, honey, I'm gonna do it with a knife, okay? You go put that knife back up. She's been helping me do a little bit of cooking, so I like your take charge attitude, lady. Okay, so just make a little pile and just start kind of rough chopping it like you do with the, thanks babe, like you do with the garlic. Watch out, there's oil right there. Okay, and just kind of get it fairly small. And so typically the recipe calls for about, stock in there, typically the recipe calls for about a teaspoon of oregano, but I added a little more, and it's so delicious, and it's really, really packed. It's really, really high in nutrients. So, okay. So it's nothing too small, but here, let me just show you. 1 second. Sorry, babe. See, it's fairly small. Hi, Kathy and Monica. Came home from work very hungry. Well, like maybe you can make this for dinner tomorrow. Like where are you coming from, Monica? Please let me know. Thanks for joining me this morning. I'm really excited y'all are here. Okay, so just toss that in. Yeah, I'm gonna put that in. Okay. Last but not least, we are going to add a couple bay leaves. And the bay leaves, most people, or it seems fairly innocuous adding bay leaves, but actually they add so much flavor to your dish. So definitely do that. Some people crush them up. I leave them whole, like mainly because like my friends, my kids like to find them. It's kind of like the baby in the cake for them. Okay. So next thing, I'm adding about a 4th cup of olive oil to my beans because the oil really helps kind of everything go together. And so now we have everything in there. I'm just going to give it a quick toss. See? I'm just going to give it a quick toss. And then we're going to add, yeah, you want to toss it around, but just be careful, okay? Okay. So we're just going to kind of do this. And then we're going to add our water and our, okay, so it's going to call for 6 cups of liquid. So I'm doing 4 cups of water, and then I'm going to do 2 cups of,
that's a lot of beans.
a lot of beans. And then I'm going to do 2 cups of chicken broth. You can do vegetable broth if you want to make this vegetarian or even vegan, because it's technically vegan right now. Okay, so we're going to take this and dump it in. Quinn, you want to put that? You can just leave that right there. Oh, it already smells good. There's that one. Okay, you want to dump that one in too? Do y'all have any questions about what I'm doing? And so, looks so good, right, Christina? So I'm just going to let this cook for 8 to 12 hours on low, and it's gonna get really, it's so pretty. Another reason why I like using red peppers is because they're so pretty. See, look how pretty that is. Can you see it? Thumbs up. Thanks for the thumbs up and hearts, guys. I love it. So it's so pretty. I'm gonna put this in the crock pot with the lid on and let it cook for all day long while we are gone to meetings, to work, things like that. And then about 30 minutes before I make, here, I'll go ahead and chop this for you. I'm not gonna add it now. I'm gonna wait. Hi, buddy. I'm gonna wait until tonight because I feel like the sausage gets kind of squishy if it cooks in the crock pot all day. So what I'm gonna do is just take this.
It's already squishy.
It is already squishy, you're right. I'm just gonna take this and run my knife through it lengthwise.
Ooh, it looks so good.
and then just kind of chop it like that. Slice it. I think it's called slicing.
Oh, it's so delicious.
It is good. Okay, so we're just gonna, Courtney, do you mind? You're messing up my camera angle, lady. Okay, so we're gonna add that about 30 minutes before I serve it, and I'll be serving it over over white rice. Another thing that I do is I actually cook my crockpot stuff outside on my back porch instead of in my kitchen because one, beans kind of have a funny smell, and two, I don't like the onion and garlic permeating my clothes. So I just put it outside, and it cooks all day, and I don't have to worry about the smell. Some things smell really good cooking, like beef stew, things like that, or spaghetti. But for some reason, beans, I just don't love it. So anyway, so I'm gonna put this on for about 8 to 12 hours, depending. Let's see, it's gonna be about 10 to 12 hours before we eat. 30 minutes before, I'm going to put my sausage in. If I had a ham hock or ham, I would actually go ahead and put that, in, Drew. It's actually facing this side. He's crawling around on the counter trying to get in the shot, but he doesn't realize that it's actually pointing towards me. So, and then I will serve this as part of over white rice. And I feel like I should be telling you guys something else, but I can't think of what it is. As far as the other beans go that I didn't use, I'm just gonna put those in a separate crock pot and let them cook at the same time. And then I'm gonna save some for my meal later this week. And then I'm gonna put the rest in mason jars. It's little mason jars, and freeze them. You can buy freezable mason jars, and then that way you have beans in your freezer to use for later times. And yes, I use mason jars for everything. I use them to freeze beans. I use them to freeze, please don't knock over my phone. I use them to freeze beans. I use them to drink out of. Use them for everything. Gifts even. So let me know if you guys have any questions. Good morning, Lizzie. And thank you guys for coming. I really appreciate you guys coming over so early in the morning. And I will have this full recipe up on my website, hopefully in the next week or two. So have a wonderful, beautiful day, and I will talk to you guys soon. Do y'all want to say bye? Do you want to come around and say bye?
Bye.
Drew's feeling shy. No, you can walk around. He was going to jump over the side.
Bye.
Here, come over this way. You can see yourself.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.